Hello everyone, I have some exciting news today. For the first time ever, I am completely out of debt. I should rephrase that. For the first time ever since 2008, my credit card has finally hit a zero balance, and I have no other debts. And then I decided to go buy a DSLR. Here is that DSLR. Now let me switch cameras. This is the camera that I used to film 90% of my vlogs on. But anyways, that's not what I want to talk about today. Today I want to talk about debt, because debt is actually a scary word, because it contains 3 out of the 5 letters that is needed to spell the word death. But not all debt is scary. There is such a thing called good debt. Student loans are considered to be good debt because they're seen as an investment into your future. However, some people think that student loans are bad debt because paying student loans off right out of school is very difficult, because you're stuck in this vicious circle that is, need to get a job to get experience, need experience to get a job, and it's really hard to break out of it. So most people usually end up getting a minimum wage job and trying to pay off their student loans, and that method takes forever. Another type of good debt is when you buy a house or a condo or an apartment or whatever, and you get what is called a mortgage. Mortgage is a really weird word because it has some random silent T in there when you actually spell it out. It's spelled M-O-R-T-G-A-G-E. And where does that T? I can't even think of any other word off the top of my head that has a silent T in it. Only mortgage. And it's weird. It's just a weird word. But that's besides the point. A mortgage is considered good debt because it is seen as an investment as well. Because when you buy a house for maybe $250,000 and then you go to sell that house, you might get $260,000 for it or $450,000 for it. Either way, you're usually selling it for a little bit more than what you actually paid for it. And that's because houses don't depreciate over time as fast as other items do. That about covers all the good types of debt that I know about. Now here comes the bad debt. I think one of the worst kinds of debt is a car loan, especially a brand new car, because the second you drive that car off of the lot, it depreciates by about 8%, and it will continue to keep sucking up your money. Especially with the car loan, because if you sign that car loan for 3 years or 5 years or however many years, you're always going to be paying that set monthly rate, even if you pay extra a month. Yes, paying extra a month will shorten the amount of years it will take to pay off that car, but you're always going to pay $300 or $400 or however much your monthly payment is, no matter what. And that's really a pain in the butt. Another type of bad debt, but not the worst kind of debt, is personal credit card. I specify personal credit card because there are business credit cards, and that's a whole other story that I'm not even going to talk about. But personal credit cards are seen as kind of a bad debt because most of the items that you purchase on there are consumable items or things that you won't be able to get the same value for if you try to sell them again. Like, for example, a couch. When you buy a couch, maybe it costs you $500, but then when you're tired of your couch and you want to try to sell it to someone, you're not going to be able to sell it for about $500. Or else, you end up buying groceries or something like that with your credit card, and you consume all that food and you can't resell it. But yeah, and another great thing about credit cards is that as long as you're not adding new purchases on your credit card all the time, every time you make a payment to that credit card, your monthly payment should be decreasing slowly but surely. For example, on my credit card statements, it said if you paid the minimum monthly payment, it would take you 25 years to pay off my credit card. But I paid it off. But now I have a DSLR, so now I have to pay that off again. But whatever, it was worth it. There is another category of debt that most people don't talk about, but I feel like I'm just going to briefly touch on it, and that is dangerous debt. Dangerous debt would be mafia debt, mob debt, yakuza debt, or loan shark debt. And I'm sure there's a couple of other categories that I don't know of, but those kind of debts can be dangerous because those types of people will use violence and blackmail to entice you to pay your loan or whatever kind of debt that you have with them. And usually their interest rates are ridiculous. But yeah, debt doesn't have to be completely scary as long as you're careful. One really great thing that Canada has, and I don't know if the rest of the world has, but they should, is this fancy feature called Visa Debit, where basically your debit card works as if it was a Visa. So if you're buying things online like Amazon.ca, and when you go to checkout, you can say that you have a Visa card, and then you enter your debit card number, and then it comes out of your bank account, and there's no monthly fee and stuff like that. It just comes straight out of your bank account, and if you have no money in there, it's not going to work, because you don't have any kind of credit with it. But I think that's a really great feature to kind of avoid getting into debt, because the main reason why I got a credit card was so I could buy things online. But yeah, that about covers everything I wanted to talk about in this video. In the comments below, let me know your thoughts about debt. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys all next week. Don't forget to have an epically awesome day. Bye!